this review being interesting and any good is a red herring. Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we are going to be talking about yet another one of my favorite comedies of all time. Almost what I would consider a perfect comedy in many, many ways. Today we are going to be talking about a comedy that is based on a board game. Today we are going to be talking about Clue. I'm not going to really spoil the ending to this one because what's the fun in that? If you've already seen this movie, you know how good the ending is. Or should I say endings? But I will say this, if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. Watch it. It's hilarious. There is so much good comedy in this that you definitely need to see it if you have not. This movie came out in 1985. I could spoil the whole thing, but a movie like this, after seeing like Knives Out, Knives Out reminded me of a little more serious version of this. Where it's just there's so much going on and there's all sorts of clues in there to keep you interested in the entire story, and you're not going to figure out everything, but you could figure out some of it. The whodunits, of course, the plot of the game was figure out who did it in what room and with what item, and all that stuff is in this movie. But anyway, you have 6 guests show up to this house. They've been invited to this mansion for dinner. And then they're of course they're brought up to speed by the butler on what's going on, or at least what he knows. And then they meet their host. And then when the lights go out, the host is killed. And as the movie goes, other people start to die. And of course, you have characters, what their motives are and why they're there. It starts to get revealed as you go. Plus, you also find out some things that are supposed to draw your attention elsewhere and everything else. So you just have a hilarious whodunit throughout the entire movie. This movie is driven mostly by its characters, and you have a fantastic cast that all do their part well, whether they be the shortest of the short amount of time on screen, or they're there for the whole movie. While they're all good, the standout performance has to be Tim Curry as the butler Wadsworth. He not only keeps the whole story going, but when we get near the end, he has to almost reenact everybody else's part as he's explaining things, and it is hilarious. Tim Curry and his comedic timing in this is flawless. This is one of his best performances ever, and that's saying a lot considering the fact Tim Curry is, Tim Curry. But he just drives this movie. That being said, if he didn't have actors like Christopher Lloyd, Eileen Brennan, Madeline Kahn, Michael McKean, Leslie Ann Warren, he's got Martin Mull. I mean, he's just got all these really good actors surrounding him who are also fantastic in their parts as well. They all just play different. They're not going to say they're stereotypical characters, but they are definitely they're kind of grounded in certain spots. You have one that's the politician's wife. You have one that's the madam. You have one that's the military guy. One that's the professor. So you just have these characters that just kind of fall into place, but they all have something in common, which really brings the story together in the end. But all of them, every single one of them, it's just there's a lot of erratic things going on as this movie goes. It does pause to slow down and let you catch your breath every now and then. But there are times, especially like the last 20, 25 minutes, where this movie is going a mile a minute. Especially when Tim Curry's Wadsworth is saying, "I know who did it," and he starts to explain everything you've just seen throughout the entire movie and reenacting the parts as he's doing them. He runs you through the whole movie near the end of the movie. So, and of course all the characters are running after him. But there's just so much going on in this movie, but you are never lost. You are just having a good time. Now, if you're really trying to figure out what happened, you might get a little lost. But if you're just enjoying the silliness as it goes and just picking up the fun clues here and there, you're going to have a darn good time with this movie. Again, flawless performances, flawless comedic timing, the multiple endings. I'd say the middle ending is just okay. I mean, it's fine. It works. It's just not the best ending. The best endings are the first and the third ending. The last ending, of course, the final ending is the one that just really all comes together and it really gets everyone involved and it works perfectly. But you have a lot of just silliness going on, especially when they're having to cover up the dead bodies where they can't get them out of a room. A cop shows up and they have to hide the dead bodies. The way they hide them is hilarious. Just all of what's going on in this one. You have the characters interacting in different ways. Like Christopher Lloyd's character, Professor Plum, is, let's just say, his practicing medicine. He did that one thing a doctor shouldn't do with his patients. You just also have other characters that have all the characters have secrets, and those secrets come out little by little by little. And as the story goes along, the way they interact with each other, you find out some of them know each other, some of them have an idea of who the others are, and it all just works really well. And look, for free on Amazon Prime, I know this movie came out in the mid-'80s. It still holds up to this day. Again, in my review for Knives Out, my favorite movie of that year, I was like, this movie reminded me of a serious Clue, or a more serious Clue, because that movie had some silliness in it too. But this one is pure camp, but it's perfect pure camp. And the comedy still holds up to this day. I was rolling when I was watching this just last night, and granted I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember everything that happened in this movie when I saw it last night, and I'd remembered everything. I knew how it was going to end. Still, just the comedic timing really makes this work. Again, you have Tim Curry, who is, again, probably the biggest standout performance, because he is the one that has to drive the pace, especially near the end of the movie, and everybody keeps up, and it is amazing. If you have not seen Clue, watch it on Amazon Prime right now. See you later.